go, baby.
All right. Hey, guys, we are currently live. Hopefully, Jason will be joining us shortly. So we are going to talk a little bit about yesterday's Kids Day practice. And I know that there have been people out there writing about it. There have been people who've been there, shot videos, and did everything else. But you haven't heard our take yet. And we're going to give you our take today. Okay. I've got 0 people already. I mean, darn, I sent out a notice about every Hawkeye page there was. Anyhow, hopefully people will log in. So this is for the beginning people, because I always want to get this in. Don't forget to hit your like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please comment and share this video with your other Hawkeye friends. And like I always say, you know, your Husker and Cyclone fans will probably like this podcast too, because, you know, we just got to play with them emotions. That's anyhow. Right. Okay. So we're going to talk about, and we will get to the quarterback controversy, or the so-called, I'm going to put in quotations, no quarterback controversy. And we'll explain our reasoning here in a little bit. But first, I'd like to, let's just talk about some of the stuff that went on yesterday, you know, that kind of got overlooked in the quarterback controversy, because I know that everybody was looking at the quarterbacks and wide receivers. We know that. Okay, but was anybody looking at the offensive line? Mason Richmond, Bo Stevens, Logan Jones, Connor Colby, and Jennings Dunker.
Yeah.
They looked good according to all reports, you know, and they must have looked pretty good because, honestly, the running backs, I heard the running back game was pretty good. So, you know, okay. So what is it said? Caleb Johnson, I think, got himself a touchdown or a nice run and stuff. So anybody who's saying that Caleb Johnson's not cutting it in practice, I think you're wrong. But I could be wrong too. So we just want to talk about that. The question is, on the offensive line, who are the backups? You know, who are the backups going to be? You know, maybe they still have to work that out, and maybe we just pray that we don't have any, what do you call it? Injuries? Yeah, injuries. Okay. And so our pre-snap motion, which, Paul, I know you're really excited about some of the pre-snap motion that's going to go on, and you've been yelling and screaming for that for your last couple of years.
Absolutely.
That has been your number one thing we need to do. And, you know, and it looks like we have a NFL-looking offense. I'm sure it wasn't shown yesterday. But what do you think? Are you excited about that?
I am. And now here's what I'm excited about. Okay. I don't care that the offense passing game struggled yesterday. I don't even care that the run offense looked good. I mean, that's the thing everybody's ignoring right now. Oh, the passing offense didn't look good. Here's the thing, right? Everybody knows I'm in Florida. I'm in Jacksonville. I'm a Jaguar fan. We dominated the Chiefs, the Super Bowl champion Chiefs last night. Dominated them, right? Including CJ Beathard looked really well. And he's not even going to be on the team this year.
What?
No.
Wait a minute. He's not going to be on the team?
No.
Is he being traded or?
The Jaguars traded for Mac Jones.
Oh. I'm surprised Mac Jones would settle for a backup role.
Well, he is. And he's going to be the Jaguars' backup. CJ Beathard will not be with the Jaguars week 1.
Oh, where's he going to go? Do you know?
No, the Jags are just going to release him as a salary cap reason.
Oh, that's too bad. CJ's career might be over.
No, absolutely not. And he showed last night why. You know, he's got a place in the league, but that's neither here nor there. What people saw at the kids' game yesterday was base defense, right? So the defense wasn't stacking the box to stop the run,
Okay.
which teams will do in real games, which makes it harder to throw the football, or easier to throw the football is what I meant to say. Everything was bland. Everything was bland. The offense was bland. We didn't see you didn't see a lot of what Iowa wants to do on offense, and you didn't really see what teams will do to stop the Iowa offense. Iowa played a lot of base defense, which allowed maybe for a little bit better running game, but made it harder to throw the football.
Okay.
Teams are going to be out to stop the Iowa run to make it easier to stop the pass. And,
yes.
Last night, the Jaguars dominated the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. And if anybody thinks that those results are typical, would play out in a real game, this is kind of what, by the way, the Iowa defense is pretty good. I think most people think the Iowa defense is going to be pretty good.
Right.
So
I like our defensive line to start with.
Yeah.
Who are Dante Craig, Aaron Graves, Yah Black, and Ethan Herkett, but they don't have much behind them. And I think that's what they're trying to build is backups behind the line,
Yeah.
And
then, we have two linebackers who are Buckus Award preseason candidates.
Tell them who they are.
Well, was it Nick Jones and dang it, the middle linebacker. I'm drawing a blank at the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Long story short here, I mean, we the defense and the defense is expected to be pretty good, and I think most of us who watched any of the highlights or any the videos, read the stories, special teams look good, right? This is not the time to panic because the Iowa offense struggled to throw the football.
True. Well, the other thing, one of the bright spots besides the running back game, which was a bright spot, I understand that our new punter is kind of picked up where Torrey left off. I've heard everything from a 62 to a 75-yard punt that bounced out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Sounds
Now,
about right.
what I think 62 is what is officially everybody's being told, but when you read the Twitter and Facebook and all the social media, you're getting all kinds of numbers. But if you can pop that kind of yardage all the time, that would be great. Drew Stevens mentally seems to be back. I understand he kicked a 50-some-yarder field goal yesterday.
Yeah.
They held out Luke Lachey. They held him out of practice yesterday. I think because they know what he can do, and they're just making sure that he's going to be okay.
Sure.
But it sounds like our top three receivers right currently are Brown, Weegan, and help me out here.
Seth
Brown.
Not Seth Davis.
I'll see if I can find it here. Could be Reese Vanderzee. He's a freshman. I don't know how much playing time he'll get. Jarrett Bowie also looked good yesterday for the wide receivers.
None of the wide receivers really looked great yesterday, and
It's hard to
none of the
look good when the quarterback's not getting them the ball.
correct.
Do we have another Deacon Hill on our hands? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Again,
I think what we saw yesterday was a lot of base defense, a lot of base offense, right?
mm-hmm.
And if you're not going to see a lot of blitzing, because why, right? And and what happens when you blitz? You put guys in man coverage. You put you give an opportunity for guys to break things up. Well, the defense probably played a lot of base, a lot of 4-3, maybe a lot of cash, but a lot of just no exotic blitzes, which no run blitzes either, which is good that the offense was able to run the football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think one of the other things too that people should keep in mind is in 2015, our quarterback, I believe he was C.J. Beathard at the time.
Probably.
We talked about him earlier. Had a really, really awful day in Kids Day.
Sure.
Yeah, and our defense was so superb that year that our own offense couldn't do anything against it. I wonder how they practice. When you can't move against a defense like that. But anyhow, as we know, they went on to have a 12-0 regular season. Yeah, did they lose their last 2 games? Yeah, but we won't talk about that. That still hurts. But so it's not time to hit the panic button yet.
Absolutely not.
There wasn't what I mean. The other quarterbacks who Marco was out there. He didn't really look good from what I heard. They said that the actual person who probably looked the best, but he only had one throw, was I want to say it's our new James Reeser.
Okay.
Okay, if people that are on here can correct me on that one, and the other guy, the Stratton kid from Walk On, I believe he's the one we picked up from Colorado State. Okay.
But they weren't going against the number 1 or number 2 guys.
Mm-hmm. No, they weren't. Obviously, they weren't. So yeah, it just I
think the thing that people really need to grab onto is that the defense is going to be good, right? And so if you're worried about the offense looking really good, just know that there's 2 or 3 teams that I will face this year that have a defense on the level of Iowa. And those being maybe Iowa State, Ohio State, and maybe USC, right?
Yeah.
Like these are the teams that I don't think we play USC.
Yeah, we don't.
Anyway,
we don't. Yeah, we don't.
But
however, they're installing. We'll get them next year, and they're installing a defense this year. I think this would have been the year to get them. Right. The one thing you said about Iowa State and Ohio State, yes, they've got some defenses coming back that's supposed to be pretty solid. However, they have something Iowa doesn't have, and that's a prolific, high-scoring offense. Hopefully, Iowa's not going to be a high-scoring offense this year. We just need. Oh, I like his background and everything.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, they just have to be average. All they got to do is be average and maybe score, 7 to 10 more points a game. I mean, if that happens, we won. We'd have won one more game last year. There's nothing I can do about the 3 blowouts that we did. Nothing we could have done would have helped that.
Well, and that's about where we've been for the last 5 years,
Hmm.
honestly, right? The 3 to 7 points difference is, but from everything I've seen from yesterday, I'm not overly concerned.
I am not either. Jason, welcome aboard. I'm glad you found us. I like your
Yeah,
background. Is that one of your virtual ones?
yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah. I like it, so I just went with it.
Yeah. So we're just now starting to talk a little bit about the offense yesterday, and the the quarterback. People are trying to create a controversy and already yelling for number two, and number two just had as bad as day as number one. So you want to chime in on this and kind of make people feel a little relaxed and feel a little
Well, I
less
mean,
concerned?
first of all, there is no number two yet,
Okay.
but the there is going to be a quarterback controversy. Regardless, the politics are amazing. What I'm hearing, I mean, God, it's so dumb. I'm sure Marco will end up transferring. It's going to be another Joey LaBosse situation. Joey went to Central Michigan. At least he transferred in time to where he can ball out this year and then transfer again to a bigger school, so he
Hmm.
can have his opportunity that he didn't have at Iowa. I mean, it's
Did I
going to be
hear he's
another
going to
one
be
of
the
those.
starter this year?
What?
Did I hear Labus is going to be the starter there this year?
Labus is the starter, yeah, and so
Okay.
is Petrus for Utah State. That's
Mm.
going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
I don't think Petrus ever would have been successful in Iowa's offense because the quarterback had to do so much. So
Hmm.
I'm really interested in see how he does because Petrus has all the physical tools, right? It was just
Hmm.
what's between here. And
Right.
right
Yeah.
now, with all the crazy people, all of a sudden, I don't understand the love for Sullivan. He didn't do anything at Northwestern. I don't understand it. They ran a spread offense though, so he had that going for him. But they
Hmm.
won with defense. They didn't do anything different. I think his career he had 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions and 8 touchdowns, something like that.
Yeah.
Like he was never going to start at Northwestern, but we're going to create a controversy,
Hmm.
which isn't a good thing
Yeah.
when you're
One thing I would like
creating.
to. One thing I'd
Let
like
it
to.
happen, like the controversy that we had with Jake Ruddick and CJ.
Hmm.
That was organic. That was everybody actually seeing. Oh, wait a minute, right? That was a real thing that developed. This one is all media controversy.
Right.
This
Yeah.
one is just
Media is creating
everybody.
it.
This is just everybody wanting the new kid on the block, just because Cade has been injured. So
Yeah.
now they're disregarding his year at Michigan. Even though the offense they're running now is more similar to what they ran at Michigan,
Hmm.
right? They're going to
Right.
run the ball. It's just they're going to run it out of shotgun. They're going to do the same type of things they did at Michigan
Hmm.
instead of under center. So this
Right.
offense will be comfortable for Cade. The RPO won't be tough for him to learn. But Sullivan is not this god quarterback that the media, your buddy, what's his name?
Corey?
Corey. Your buddy Corey. I always forget his name just because he's
He's
just the
not
most
my buddy.
he's just the most ignorant freaking. All he is like he's just trying to create controversy. Like he's going to go against whatever Kirk does regardless.
Oh, I know
Right?
that. I know that. Then him and trying
Um,
to create controversy with Kirk when he asked this question on media day, and I just thought, you idiot.
yeah, I mean, but that's just what I'm hearing. Everything I'm hearing is it's going to be. I mean, there's going to be a quarterback controversy regardless. And it's going to be another situation where the coaches are going to be like, man, we should be playing this guy
Mhm.
and not this guy. Like Cade has everybody. Everybody wants Cade except for the media, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
coach,
right.
Inside, what?
here's an opportunity for me to um, press a theory with you. From what I've seen of yesterday's open practice, the defense played a ton of base, right?
Yeah,
Which is good for stopping the run and good for stopping the pass. but they weren't focused on stopping the run. So the Iowa run game looked okay. It's also not great for the passing game. If the defense sells out to stop the run, it makes the passing game a little easier.
Well, the difference is, the difference here though is Iowa has a top 5 passing defense.
A top 5 defense, period.
Well, that's true too, right? But regardless, they're going to, no matter what, it's going to be tough on the quarterbacks.
But
right? Because of the defense.
When Iowa lines up against Illinois State or Iowa State or whoever, they're going to see more guys in the box than they saw yesterday. More guys ready to stop the run than they saw yesterday, which would make throwing the football just a little easier, you would hope. Right?
Yeah. I mean, this happens every year, regardless of who the quarterback is. I mean, it happened back in CJ's era. The offense was terrible in spring. Right? It always, because Iowa's a defensive team. Correct. It is hard. This just in, everybody. It's hard to run an offense against Iowa's defense.
Are you saying the Iowa defense is pretty good?
Yeah. I mean, it's just insane to expect a quarterback against Iowa to go 20 to 25, 200 yards in practice, right? First of all, they don't do 7-on-7, which is how you learn the passing game, in my opinion, especially in the air raid stuff like that.
Kirk says he doesn't like the 7-on-7.
What?
He said yesterday in an interview he doesn't like 7-on-7 because it doesn't put him in real situations like 11-on-11 does.
No, he's wrong when it comes to learning the passing game. But he's always been like, he says that every year. Every single year, he's like, 7-on-7 isn't football. That's not football. But that's how you learn the passing game.
It's what?
But that's how you learn the passing game.
It's flag football. FL. I wasn't.
Well, which is why they're doing more flag football now, because you're learning the passing. Like, they do a lot of the flag football at the high school level before they go to college to learn the spread offense and stuff like that. That's how you learn the passing game. The whole football isn't just about lining up and hitting the guy across from you. There's a lot more to it. So I just don't understand why Kirk, well, he doesn't really like offense, I guess. But it's so hard to learn a passing game when you don't do 7-on-7. So, I mean, that's a part of it too, in my opinion. Part of why the offense always struggles, the passing game always struggles, is because they don't do 7-on-7, right? So, and that 7-on-7 helps the quarterback so much because you don't have people rushing, but he's still seeing everything like it's a game time situation. What 11-on-11 brings for a quarterback is, he's got to move his feet in the pocket. It makes him feel the pocket. But you can learn so much more in 7-on-7 and get more done in a shorter period of time. And then you go to 11-on-11 in practice, right? You do your 7-on-7, learn the passing game, let the quarterbacks see the defense, the receivers, whatever play they're calling, the running back in the flat, whatever. And then go to 11-on-11, then a quarterback gets the feel of the pocket. Like, it's just you learn the passing offense faster in 7-on-7. But Kirk has never liked 7-on-7. He says it's boring. It's not football. So, I mean, to me, that's a part of it as well. Is why it's harder for the quarterbacks to even look proper in the passing game.
Right.
But this one, it's a new offense, regardless of quarterback, right? Regardless, it's a new offense, so they're all learning. Everybody on the roster is learning.
Everybody's learning. Yeah, that's why I think if anybody is actually, hello Jerry, welcome to the show. If anybody's really expecting this offense to be a light 'em up and be a high scoring offense, they're wrong, because it's going to take probably a good part of the season and next year for them to really get going what they need. But they're going to get down to where I believe they're going to be better than they were last year. If we can just get over into the top 100, I believe that will help us win the games we need to win to get into the playoffs. By the way,
if I was interested in looking good on offense yesterday, they could have done a lot of things differently.
Yeah.
They could have asked the defense to give them some different looks defensively that they could have taken advantage of. But they don't want to put any of that on tape. They don't want to put it out there for people to see. The truth of the matter is it was an open practice. We've seen what's going on with Michigan and their coaches and everything. Look, we came out really, really bland on both sides of the ball, and our better unit is on the defensive side. So if you thought the offense was going to light it up against the better unit playing bland defense, it just wasn't going to happen.
I will say the running game does look good. And I think it's going to look great when they start playing other defenses. And that's going to help the passing game, like Paul said earlier hi, Jerry. Like Paul said earlier, I mean, that is going to help. And I think the running game, because they're going to hit the edges a lot more, there's going to be a lot more motion. It's going to take the linebackers out, instead of being in the box. They're going to have to follow the motion. There's just going to be so many things that's going to open up the running game, which is going to help the passing game, right?
Did anyone notice if there was a lot of motion yesterday in the scrimmages?
No, they didn't show it. They didn't show. I mean, there was, right, but it just not a ton of it. They didn't show a lot.
The passing game,
right? And Kirk doesn't do the Scott Frost. Like Kirk literally doesn't care what the fans think of his offense, right?
Right. He does not. He's made that perfectly clear.
The games are already sold out. He doesn't need to sell tickets right now.
Right. And they're already sold out. So yeah. Scott Frost was famous for in their spring game letting the offense just dismantle his defense. Right. That's what he wanted. He wanted everybody to see these flying plays by all the quarterbacks and everybody. And then they get in the game and we all saw what happened. So this is just they're gonna grind out some games, but our offensive line is I'm hearing so many good things. They're really
that's what we were talking about before you joined us about the O-line, how good they were looking, and I think that contributed to a positive running situation game yesterday too. Don't you think? I mean,
there's going to be moments where even if they know we're running the ball, I think they're going to be able to run the ball.
Sure.
I mean,
I think
because of the motions and because the line getting better.
Yeah. So we have a new running back to add to the mix who sounds like he got some carries yesterday. Xavier Williams, he's a freshman. He came in with Breven Dahl, but Breven Dahl has been moved to wide receiver, and they're saying that he's looking pretty good over there, as is Terrell Washington Jr. Looking pretty good at wide receiver. And I found we were talking about earlier about the top 3 wide receivers might be Brown, Weegen, and I forgot Gill. I couldn't think of Gill's name a little bit ago, the guy from Northwestern.
Jacob Gill.
Yeah. And then they got a couple of other people they want to throw in. Vander Zee, who people were impressed with, and Jarrett Bowie, who, was also impressive, I guess.
Yeah, Jarrett Bowie's been I wish he would have got some playing time a year ago, but he was hurt a lot of it. But you're not but what I hope you get is, these players are moving to wide receivers like Washington Jr. And Dahl. But it's their speed and their quickness they want, and it's not to catch the ball. They're going to be getting the ball and fly sweeps and stuff like that. That's the key with this offense is they're going to attack the edges. They're going to do a lot of different things. So these people that they move, these running backs that they're moving to receiver, isn't necessarily to go out and catch a bunch of balls.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's to get some quickness out there so they can. Like if you bring just an every average day wide receiver across in motion, they're not going to believe that person's going to get the ball. You got to bring somebody who there's a chance if they get the ball, they're going to do something, right?
Right, yeah.
And that's what these guys are going to do. Like they're going to be getting fly sweeps. They're still going to carry the ball.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Jerry didn't want me to forget Seth Anderson, but did he even play yesterday?
No, he's hurt, I believe.
I thought he was on the injured list too.
Yeah,
but if he's able to come back, yes, of course he's part of that rotation.
Yeah. So now we're talking about an offense without Luke Lachey, without Seth Anderson, right? And those are 2 huge parts of the passing game. and and going against a defense that's not stacked to stop the run, which is what we're going to see in real games. Troy, Illinois State, they're going to stack the box.
Well, they're going to try, but I think all the motion and the outside stuff isn't going to allow it. They're going to have to adjust. You won't see many teams put 8 guys in a box unless, like, depends on where your box is. So they're going to have to spread their box outside the tight ends, where the tight ends would be. They're going to have to spread it out.
But if they do stack the box to stop the run, that's going to open things up for guys like Lachey or Seth Anderson or Caleb Brown or Wetchen. The guys that, it didn't look real good yesterday. But I think a lot of that is the defense didn't show a ton, and the offense didn't either.
Paul, you look like you've been either up for 24 hours or you've been hitting the hookah.
Yeah. I want to say this, before Paul answers that, look at his face. It's so much slimmer than it was last football season. Good job, Paul. And by the way, your voice is kind of stretchy. You must have been doing a lot of yelling at the Jaguars game last night.
Yeah, sorry. It was a fun game to be at, fellas. I was there with my CJ Beathard jersey, rooting on a guy who probably will not make the final roster.
You don't think he's going to make the final roster? You don't think he'll be third string?
The Jags probably won't keep 3 quarterbacks.
Oh. I know he's duking it out for second, but I figured he had third. Well, he makes too much money for a third stringer anyway.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's going to be a cap casualty. So I used last night as an opportunity to root on one of my favorite Iowa quarterbacks.
I believe he threw the ball the most, though, didn't he?
I don't know.
I know
he was really good while he played. Threw a touchdown. He was really, really good. I'd like to say that he's going to give the Jaguars a tough cut, but money-wise, I just don't think that it's a tough cut.
Okay.
Yeah, he makes it.
Let me ask you guys this. As long as we're talking a little NFL here.
Yeah, he threw.
Did anybody watch Philadelphia yesterday?
No, but CJ was only a 50% passer, and he threw the ball 14 times.
So 7 of 14.
Yeah, but he did throw a touchdown.
Okay.
Very nice.
I just wondered how our boy Cooper looked for Philadelphia yesterday. If he even got any playing time, I don't know. I'm sure he did.
I don't know. It just depends on. I heard they're moving him inside, so it'd be like playing cash for Iowa,
like a nickel cash position.
Yeah.
Okay,
he could play anywhere like that along that.
Correct. He could play free. He could play strong. He could play outside. He could play inside. He's just a great athlete.
Are they going to use him as a punt returner too?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
They should.
Anyway, getting back to the game yesterday, and of course, our linebackers are Higgins and Jackson. So I think they're going to be tough pair. They should be racking up the tackles all Big Ten.
Absolutely. They're that Higgins was the name I couldn't remember earlier. Again, so when everybody's, I don't know if they're panicking with the offense, but I mean, we're talking about them going up against guys who are on preseason watch lists for, Nagurski, the D-line, I think we all expect to be pretty damn good. The secondary, especially with Castro and X, I mean,
Well, they want to get Nestor on the field.
Damn
So
right.
I mean, he probably should learn the cash, right? But I mean, Castro's the cash, right?
Yeah.
So
And that's maybe because, understandably, it sounds like TJ Hall snagged that starting spot away from Nestor already.
see, I think they're just going back and forth, and they're just going to play with it until somebody takes it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Somebody
they're just neck and neck, and maybe it's going to be like that to where they're just going to say on game day, go prove it, right?
Yeah.
Because they play the same position, so they're not going to lose anything if one goes out there if they're both playing equal, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they'll use game day and just split the reps on game day and see who takes it.
That'd be kind of cool because against Illinois State, I think they can afford to kind of mix it up a little bit and do that. Xavier Wampa out with injury yesterday. So I don't know how bad it is, but they're saying that it's not bad at all.
I mean, they're all. What's the famous Iowa injury? They're
soft tissue.
They're all soft tissue injuries. It's basically what I have in my knee from hitting the bottom of the pool. So I mean,
is that a soft tissue injury or is that a hard bruise?
It's a soft tissue. I had an MRI. It really hurts when I have to use it, but other than that, it's fine.
Are you still hurting?
When I use it, like when we had that storm and I had to do all that yard work, I could barely move it. And when I moved it, it hurt so bad.
Oh, okay.
But walking at the zoo yesterday, it was great. But when I got home, I had to put it up in the recliner.
I hate to bring this back to football, but
oh shoot!
do we have a new Epinesa?
247.
Not yet, but hopefully
247 and Tom Kaker have given what do they call that? A crystal ball to Iowa.
Yeah.
Somebody else gave a crystal ball to Iowa and moved it within minutes. But Kelvin is out there saying that he was reading that he has told his friends that he's coming to Iowa, but he's not made it official to anybody. And so,
I mean,
it was supposed to. Kaker said yesterday that he thought it would be yesterday that they would have the announcement, but and apparently, if you guys have read some of Epi's tweets, there's some dirty negative recruiting going on against us. And that would have to be either Miami or Missouri because those are the two options that he's looking at, or Utah.
I mean, it is what it is. That's recruiting. It's always been like that.
Yeah.
It's always been like that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping soon it is. I bet he does. I'm hearing the same stuff. I'm hearing that he is going to come to Iowa, but I'm not going to say either way. I learned my lesson with the offensive coordinator situation. I'm hearing that he's probably going to come. But these kids, if somebody brings a bag and says, you have $1 million NIL deal, he could go wherever, right? Today's world, NIL has changed the game.
It really has.
I mean, not Eli. Manning, can't remember his first name all of a sudden, but Manning at Texas, he made $3 million his freshman year that he freaking redshirted. Iowa can't afford that.
No. I actually heard today that he's leaving Texas. I don't know how true that is.
It's not.
You know how the internet is. I try not to believe everything I hear on Twitter.
He's a redshirt freshman. They gave him his money.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get playing time this year. That's the difference. Is in blowouts they will play him, because what ruined everything was Quinn Ewers was supposed to go pro, and he didn't. This was supposed to be Manning's year as a redshirt freshman. Apparently he's ready, and he balled out in the spring.
Yeah. So
he's going to get playing time this year, but Quinn Ewers just threw a wrench in everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I just got confirmation John Nestor did take some snaps as the number 2 cash behind Castro.
There you go.
So, Jerry, there you go. It confirmed.
The defense is going to be damn good.
Yeah,
It is. I mean, and you got like I
amazing.
said, even if Nestor wins the spot, you still have TJ Hall, who has starting experience, who has played starting. He's started the a couple of games each of the last few years and has played. Deshaun Lee has starting experience from last year, and nobody's even mentioned his name. And think of what he can do.
Yeah, the defense.
What?
So,
welcome in.
So what are we worried about here, right? The offense, the passing offense didn't look good yesterday. They're not supposed to. The Iowa defense is supposed to be pretty damn good.
If even the backups.
Right. So, I mean, if even the Iowa offense, if they were lighting it up against what we expect to be a really, maybe then do we start to doubt the Iowa defense, right? Like,
the difference is, I was just going to say, the difference is in Kirk doesn't care. He does not care what you say about his offense, right?
No, he doesn't.
So
he said that last year. He goes, I don't care how many points we score as long as we win. That's most important.
Right. I mean, and he doesn't care what people are saying because he knows fans are crazy. They're fanatics, right? For a reason.
Right. Fan is short for fanatic.
Yeah. But if you know what the situation is, new offense regardless, but you're going against a top 5 defense, you're never going to have a quarterback. There's not a quarterback that's going to come in and roast Iowa. There just isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So even if all the quarterbacks knew this offense 100%, they were ready to go, they know everything, they're not going to have that much success against Iowa's defense, regardless.
And by the way, they were doing situational practice, right? So the offense is starting at a certain point in the field, and they're going to run certain plays based on situations. The defense knows this. By the way, the defense is pretty good. That's what we just talked about. So you got the offense. I don't want to say hampered. Hampered isn't the right word, but confined to running plays based on situational, and the defense similar, but playing a lot of base.
I'm with you, Jerry.
It's not worth panicking over.
No. And Cade does have to knock some rust off. Throwing with people falling around his ankles, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the one thing I think Cade did show us is I don't think there's any concerns physicality-wise that we should be concerned about, from what I heard. Now, T. Hink, were you there at the game yesterday? I mean, at the Kids' Day?
I mean, here's the positive of that, right? Like if teams decide, you know what, we're just going to load the box and play man. Cade has the mobility at this point to get outside or break contain and pick up yardage. That's what he showed yesterday.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think so. And honestly, he showed, that. And I think my main concern was his physicality, because I figured his passing wasn't going to be as crisp as we would hope it would be, because they already told us in media days, in Iowa media days, that he was okay physically, but he had some work to knock off the rust, and he didn't disappoint. The coaches were right on the money. The coaches didn't embellish anything. They didn't lie about anything. And when Kirk was asked about it, he was asked if what we saw in the quarterbacks yesterday, if that's what he's seen in the practices this first week, he said absolutely. That's what we. Yeah.
I hope so. If the defense is supposed to be as good as we think it is, I hope so.
Look what Hank said. Of course, Corey says that.
Where's that at? I missed it. Okay, let me go back.
I'm kind of glad the quarterbacks are struggling against a good defense. If we think the defense is going to be as good as we think it is, they better struggle.
Yeah.
Of course, Corey says that. Corey wants himself some Sullivan. Corey wants to create a quarterback controversy.
Yeah.
I don't
like
trust.
I said earlier.
I don't trust anything Corey says. It's always against the grain because he wants to create clicks.
Yeah. K-Hink, I realized he was in the stands. I knew that he was there. Did you catch his question to Kirk on the day before on Media Day when he was trying to create a quarterback controversy between Sullivan and Cade? And
he's
Kirk
been
didn't
wanting
bite.
Sullivan
Kirk
since
didn't
Sullivan
bite.
came. Yeah, he's been wanting Sullivan since Sullivan came to Iowa, which makes zero sense. So, of course, he's going to say bad things about.
Yeah. You guys, let me real quick. Jerry's taking off, and don't forget about his Punting is Winning podcast. He usually uploads that to Facebook on Monday morning sometime. They're going to go record it now.
I look forward to listening to that.
I like listening to them, and they usually have a question that I try to answer every week, and then they read them back the following week. But, yeah. Thanks, Jerry. Have a good show.
See you, Jerry.
Yeah.
The thing that I was most inspired by yesterday was that when teams aren't stacking the box to stop the run, we were able to run the football, right? Like, when the Iowa defense wasn't stacked to stop the run, the Iowa offensive line and the running backs were able to run the football well. Mm-hmm. And I expect that when teams do stack the box to stop the run, that I think we'll be able to take advantage of that, especially when we have DJ, when we have McNamara, when we have Seth Anderson, Caleb Brown, when those guys are all out there together, I think we'll be able to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty.
No, Corey doesn't have internal sources into the program. What he has is the same thing every other media person does. What he has his opinions, and he's been wanting Sullivan from the start. Mm-hmm. And Sullivan didn't do anything at Northwestern. Sullivan is not going to be – he is not that good.
Corey does say he has an inside source, somebody well connected with the program. So he tells everybody that. And usually when he tells somebody – usually when he comes out and says a source well connected, he's not wrong usually. I mean, I don't really care for Corey, but he does have some information. Yeah, he does have some information, and I do like it when he has his Patterson on.
Yes, and, Patterson, of course, but that doesn't. Patterson was also a hater. I mean, both of them. Yeah. I know he has Don Patterson, and it is a competition, but it wasn't a competition for Corey. From the day Sullivan came in, he picked Sullivan, and Sullivan hasn't done anything. So
nice comment, Coaster.
Yeah. Well, let's. This is a show about Hawkeyes, so let's try to keep it Hawkeye related and not Corey related, because I'm not here to bash Corey. Corey has a good show with a lot of following people.
Absolutely.
He does, and I would love to be at his level one day with followers like that and be able to get those kind of guests on my show. I've even reached out to Corey asking for a little help, and he never reached back. So that's kind of where my dislike of him comes. But I still watch his show.
I was on a podcast with Corey. I dislike him very much, and when he just. To me, he just makes stuff up all the time because he's always wrong. So that's what I
never knew about that. I wish I could have gone back and try to find some of those shows that you were on with him. Was it his current show or a different show?
No, it was on the one out of Omaha, Nebraska's Hawk's Nest.
Oh, yeah. You've been on that show a couple times.
Yeah.
Okay. A few times more, maybe?
Not as much as what Corey was on the show.
Oh, okay. So, is that what launched his career, or did he just come on as a guest? Because
what launches his career is his voice.
Yeah,
he just has one of those
great radio voice. He's got
he's got one of those radio voices, and he's not afraid to just say crap, even if it's wrong, and it turns out to be wrong. But he gets clicks, he gets people to watch.
Yeah.
And he has that voice, and I believe he got a degree from Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. So he met Don Patterson, right?
Forget Corey.
He has. Go ahead.
I said, forget Corey. How about Spencer Lee getting silver at the Olympics? How amazing is that?
I thought he got gold.
He wrestled for gold, but ended up with silver. My understanding is even though he was taking a selfie with all the guys at the stand, that he was pretty upset about it. That he said some things publicly, but I haven't heard him myself that he actually said it. But something about that he didn't come all the way there to win a silver or something like that. And somebody was blaming it on Tom Brands because Tom Brands was there coaching him.
His path, even to get to that gold medal match, was incredible.
It was. He wasn't even supposed to be there in the top three. Not
the
way they seated him. They seated him in such a way that
he was unseated.
Was he unseated? Okay. Yeah. We also have I didn't hear how her match went, but her name was Kennedy Blake, a woman wrestler committed to Iowa for this next season. And she wrestled for gold this morning, but I did not hear how her match went. And then Iowa had a track star finishing with the bronze, I believe. So the University of Iowa, I think there's some others too I'm leaving out, but I think Iowa had some people do well for themselves at the Olympics, the University of Iowa.
Absolutely.
So congratulations.
Iowa was well represented and well done.
Yeah, Kate will be ready to go. I'm just fired up because they're going to make a big quarterback controversy out of it even before the season starts.
Yeah.
and I think Corey has a lot to do with that controversy. So that's why I said what I said.
Yeah. They're talking about Zach Lutmer might be the gunner this year because it looks like he was the gunner. So,
yeah.
He's taking over. I guess I didn't know that Cooper was a gunner last year.
What? What'd you say?
I didn't know Cooper was a gunner last year.
He's like one of the best gunners in the country.
Yeah.
He was the reason why.
Okay. All right. Will you let me finish this? Okay.
I didn't know you were talking.
I was trying to. I just said it looks like Zach Lutmer is going to take over Cooper DeJean's spot as the gunner.
You already said that. That's why I was commenting on that. I was going to say.
Go ahead and comment. Didn't hear.
And then you said, I didn't know Cooper was the gunner. Well, I think Paul and we even discussed it on the show how the difference in the punting went when Cooper wasn't there to stop the ball inside the 5, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Remember
you're
after
right.
After Cooper got hurt, then the punting changed where they weren't able to get down there as often.
Correct. Yeah.
No, and then it was the guy that transferred to Miami,
Yes, he was the other one, but he went to Michigan State, and now he's nowhere. He just kept transferring and He's the one, Terry. I think Terry.
Scary Terry.
Yeah, Scary Terry.
Wait a minute. Refresh my memory. I don't know who Scary Terry is.
Oh wow.
Somebody from Iowa?
Yeah. His family is very talented. He's got like cousins and brothers all over the country doing athletic stuff. Before my Twitter, I lost my login to my Twitter. His uncle followed me, and what the heck was his name? Number 22. He was supposed to be corner last year. He's the reason why Deshaun Lee had to play last year because Terry transferred to Miami.
Okay.
And then
now I remember who you're talking about now.
And then transferred to Michigan State. And then now he's not doing – I don't think he's doing anything. So
Yeah. Well, so some other things that came out of media day. Did you guys know that Mason Richmond played with a fractured leg all season?
Well, I knew he played hurt, so
Yeah, he said
I didn't know. I didn't know what it was.
he told the media that it was a fractured leg on the upper fractured leg, similar to something that Cooper had, but Cooper's was lower, I guess.
So there must be either, is it a pain tolerance or is it where the location is, whether you can play or not?
I think it's got to be part of both. I mean, I think it's got to be pain tolerance. But you're also too, if you're just fractured, aren't you in danger of breaking it all the way?
I would assume so, but I don't. I'm not a doctor or nothing, but I would assume so.
Yeah.
To me, a fracture would be, a crack in your leg. But
yeah. And then another thing that came out yesterday was Corey Moulton, and this was on media day from Coach Betts. Did you guys know that his mom and both of his grandmas passed away in the same year when he was a junior in high school? I
I did not know that.
That is like crazy. I mean,
that
is a lot to take on emotionally.
Was it a cancer thing?
I don't know. They didn't say why, but they were just saying that this is what made him strong mentally and everything, ready to go. That he's just strong mentally because he had to get mentally tough when he lost all those people in his life. And so.
Hey, nice cut.
Oh, thank you.
Was it Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I got.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
By the way, looks like Gatorade to me.
Well, it's Kool-Aid. It was Mountain Dew, but
okay.
I've got Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Plain gray glass with water. Okay. So what do you guys think? Does it sound like that Bud Meyer, being our wide receiver coach, is going to turn out okay? You guys think that with what happened with, the wide receivers?
Well, I'm thinking he's probably working with the OC, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's learning a lot from Lester.
Okay.
Working together. So, because Lester's also with the quarterback, so I'm guaranteeing you they're having meetings together. He's teaching what he wants out of the wide receivers, where that didn't happen under Brian. So I'm going to say Bud Meyer it's probably going to turn out to be okay because Lester, who is, really experienced, is going to have them together. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kirk will help with the O-line, which is going to help the O-line. So I believe the offense will be more, the coaching will be more cohesive together with everybody. Bud Meyer's never been a wide receivers coach, but that's not really as important as what the OC working with him, right?
Yeah. Actually, Kirk is just he said at one of his recent news conferences, it was probably on media days for the Big Ten, that actually Bud Meyer was a wide receivers coach he coached the wide receivers at Colorado State for the one season he was there.
I think what's really important here is that you've got a guy in Bud Meyer who played quarterback. You got a guy in Lester who played quarterback, right? So these guys know how to read a defense. They know how to not beat a defense, but what a defense is thinking. And then you've got a guy like Abdul Hodge coaching tight ends who absolutely knows what the defense wants to do and what they're thinking. So now you've got this plethora of knowledge. I'm really excited to see what the offense can do.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve, I don't think that's right because he was the OC and quarterback coach at Colorado State. I had to look it up because I'm like, no, because I followed Colorado State. That was the year we played him. He was the OC and quarterback coach. He wasn't the wide receivers coach.
Okay, so Kirk might be embellishing that, or he's embellishing it to Kirk.
Well, maybe he did what I said. right? What I just said about Lester.
Yeah.
Maybe he worked with the quarterbacks and the wide receivers, and that's what Kirk was trying to put out there, is that he helped the wide receivers run his offense.
Right. Okay. Something else that came out of media day was that Jennings Dunker had shoulder surgery. Try saying that. And lost 30 pounds in the off season. So
Yeah.
That's why he couldn't do the hay toss. That's why he couldn't defend his title in the hay toss.
Well,
you know what I'm talking about? At Seoul,
no, I
in
don't.
Iowa?
I do not. Could you explain that?
Oh, that's what they all remember last year. He just dominated everybody, where they throw hay bales up over.
Oh, yeah. The hay bales, and some freshmen won it this year.
Yeah. So he wasn't able to defend his title.
Yeah, he won it last year. Yeah. Maybe Kirk should just tell the guys to quit throwing hay bales.
Mama, if there's a coach in waiting, it's probably Seth Wallace. If somebody disagrees with me, feel free. But I think it's probably Seth Wallace.
I would say it's Seth Wallace or Woods, right?
Or Woods.
I think it's one of those. It's definitely not Bud. But I understand it. I mean, what you said is funny because that's what it feels like. But no, I don't think. Maybe the OC. I don't know. I wouldn't say the coach in waiting for the head guy. Maybe Bud will get the OC when Seth Wallace takes over. I don't know. Or maybe Lester stays.
I think my personal opinion is I'm not necessarily agreeing with this, but I think they're setting up Seth Wallace to be the next coach. But
yeah.
But I think we lose LeVar Woods if that happens, because I think LeVar Woods wants to be that next coach.
I mean, I don't know if that would happen because they love. Well, they won't lose Woods until his kids graduate. So
yeah,
they'll have to give him a raise, and they probably will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to keep him.
How old is Seth Wallace? Anybody know?
I don't. We can look it up.
Because is he another? Because he feels like he's been there forever. Like, has he been there from the beginning? Like Parker?
No, he left and came back. There was an interview with him with Chad Lysico, I think, a week or so ago. Or maybe that was Washed Up Walk-On. It was Washed Up Walk-Ons. And he was there for a couple of years, left, and then came back.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I knew that. I forgot about that.
By the way, Manning's name is Arch.
Yeah. I mean, as far as yesterday goes, if anybody wants to be in panic mode, I would temper your panic.
How old is Seth Wallace of University of Iowa?
I mean, that's the bottom line, Paul.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line. Is stop panicking over this. And look,
he's 45.
Oh, okay. So he's a young buck.
Yeah,
he's a young buck.
He's 2 years older than me.
Look where's he at? Look where he's at. And here we are, just sitting here on a podcast, and he's younger.
Yeah, I keep thinking I'm only 1 year younger than Kirk Ferentz, and look what that man's done with his life. And I could be a millionaire if I'd have gotten coaching football.
Yeah, but you got to get in the right spot. He got lucky being at Iowa.
He did.
Going through what he went through. The
fans,
there's a lot of university where the fans win. And Kirk never would have survived 2012 if the fans had their way. So,
or 2020-ish.
Oh,
2020. Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
The year of the racism.
Too, right? Everybody wanted them gone.
So. You know how many schools would have fired their coach over that? Regardless. You know?
Way too many, like Paul said.
Way too many.
Not Barta.
And all Iowa did since then is make 2 Big Ten championship games.
said I should if quarterbacks they're not going to look good. If Chad really said that, who the hell expected him to look good on Kids Day?
Right.
We're still
He said
learning
in his
offense.
Chad said in his podcast yesterday, does Tim and Kirk have a decision to make at the beginning of the season? They were trying to create a quarterback controversy too.
See, it's for the media.
Sure.
I mean, this Sullivan Love is insane. It's insane. He didn't do anything at Northwestern, but yet we're gonna. I mean, he didn't even come close to doing what freaking the starting quarterback did at Michigan.
One thing I'd like to point out, Deacon Hill had a better record than
well, Deacon Hill,
Sullivan, but I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, Deacon Hill had a different head coach that kind of enjoyed not having any offense and winning with defense. Where at Northwestern, they didn't have the defense. They had a good defense, but not Iowa's defense.
Yeah,
I mean,
it wasn't as solid as it once was. Yeah.
Wasn't the final score like 10-7 against Northwestern?
Something like that, yes.
Something like that. So
and we played at Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
Or was that Bear Stadium? Cool. I can't remember. Wrigley
Field. I think it was Wrigley Field.
It was at Riggs. Absolutely. Yeah. Good time.
Yeah. Both football teams on the same side of the field. Here's something too.
I just feel like sports beat writers are turning into mainstream media. Mm-hmm. They want that controversy. They want that. They want people to get all insane about crap and just make the environment terrible.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, they want clicks. They want views.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going after now.
This is Cade's team. The players, know it's Cade's team. Everybody knows every quarterback's going to struggle. They're just having a conference.
No, Llama, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. First of all, after Iowa wins the national title this year and Kirk retires as the national champion, coach of the year for the third time.
Yeah, I think national coach of the year for the second. Was he?
No, he's already been coach of the year twice.
I thought it was only once in 2002. Did he? When was the other one? 2015?
2015, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might have been, what was his, 2009?
2009, yeah, I don't.
Well, yeah, maybe it was 09 that he won it the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Long story.
Way,
yeah.
You're right.
No. Coach Bud, and yeah, Llama, stop it, dude. Just stop. Full stop.
Playing
with your minds.
if Llama was a part of mainstream media, that's exactly what he'd be doing. He'd be putting it out there just to get people to fired up.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Corey and then now Chad. I wish I didn't know about Chad saying it. Yeah. That's why I've actually stopped listening to I stopped listening to Corey because he just kept lying about Brian. But anyway,
we need to get Omaha, Nebraska's nest back, or however they say that. We need to get them back on the air.
For anybody that wants to, bang on the offense yesterday, then you know what? Stop your bitching about Brian Ferentz, right? Oh, the offense was all on Brian and his bad play calling, right?
Yeah. Right, exactly.
You mean to tell me it wasn't magically better yesterday?
Dean's buddy, yes. Yeah, see, that's insane. To compare Sully to Nate Stanley is insane. Holy buckets. How much money did Sullivan? There's a reason why Sullivan came to Iowa. Nobody wanted him. He didn't get the bag to come to Iowa like Cade got.
Yeah. Literally he's being facetious, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is because it's me, right?
Yeah.
I'm praying that he's being facetious. If Corey really said that.
He is. He doesn't believe it any more than you do.
Okay. But Sullivan wasn't even going to start at Northwestern. That's why he transferred. Do you think he really went from Northwestern to Iowa without getting any NIL money because everybody wanted him? I mean, it's insane. Cade got the bag to come to Iowa, right? So that's one reason why Cade's going to start, I think, anyway. I think that's part, like, in the NFL, the highest paid player will get 10 times the chances of anybody else.
Which is why CJ Beathard will be cut.
CJ's in the opposite, but if he would have got like starting quarterback money, he would get every rep, right? Trevor's going to get every rep, no matter how bad he looks, because of his contract.
CJ looked pretty good, or not CJ, but yeah, CJ did too. But
Trevor did look good.
Trevor looked fine last night.
He only did one drive and scored a touchdown, right?
Field goal.
I thought he had a touchdown pass. Maybe not. Okay.
It was CJ that got the touchdown pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, hey, guys, I want to tell you, yesterday I was messing around on YouTube, and I know it's pretty funny. And
good old Jacob Gill.
Yeah. I was watching an old Lute Olson basketball game.
Nice.
And we lost him. But anyway, I was watching an old loose basketball game from 1980 where we beat Illinois by about 4 points at the very end. And it was in the old field house. I remember watching basketball games in the old field house and wrestling meets. Wow. Man, it's crazy loud in there. I think some of my hearing went during, going to those games in there. But the thing I noticed that I didn't remember is that the team sat on opposite sides of the floor. Illinois was on one side and Iowa was on the other. And I'm going, what? That's crazy. I don't remember that.
Yeah, sadly, being born in 81, the only experience I've ever had in the field house was playing a pickup basketball game.
Oh, yeah.
Back in my younger, thinner, more athletic days.
Oh, so you never got to experience a Final Four with Iowa. Oh, you're a youngster.
I was 4.
81, by the way, is the year my twin daughters were born. So you're the same age as they are.
It was also the year Iowa went to the Rose Bowl, right? Or is that 83?
Correct. Yep.
That was correct. 80 was the year they went to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, Hannah.
Right,
Gordy.
I have some lasagna to eat if we're done.
Yeah, I think we're going
to. I think we pretty much beat this to a dead horse.
Yeah.
I think we chased off a few viewers.
Well,
anyway, guys.
If you're panicking about what the offense showed yesterday, stop it. Stop it.
I mean, Dean, you may not want me on I chase off viewers. There's people that love me and there's people that hate me.
We love you, Coach. I love you.
Because I don't lie. I'm out there, right? I call people out in their bull crap. So
yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
And when you get me fired up, like Llama just did talking, I just don't want a fake quarterback controversy. Like if it happens and it's organic, that's great. But to have the media go the opposite way of the coaches.
Yeah. So I think before we get out of here, I just want to remind people, if you did make it this far, I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, then like, and comment. Leave some comments after the show. I will come back and answer those comments for you.
I don't know.
And share it.
Last comment.
I don't think you can let Llama into your chat that you don't want the stuff being sent in. Imagine what Llama was sent.
Yeah,
we love you though, man. Keep commenting.
Did you read the bottom one, Dean?
Yes, I did. And why do you think I don't have it up there in the?
Okay.
I could hide it so nobody could see it.
I do not have a Gabby tramp stamp, although if I was ever going to have one, it would, yes.
It'd be that one.
It would,
yeah.
Gabby Marshall would definitely be influenced.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
All right,
We
guys,
good?
let's get out of here. Thank you for watching, everybody. We appreciate it, and come back soon.
That's
Next
right.
podcast, I hope Wednesday night.
Here we
Okay.
go. Go Hawks,
We're gonna-
everybody.
Go
We're gonna
Hawks.
start getting on schedule, huh?
Yeah, we got to get our schedule going now.
Let's do it,
Okay.
baby.
Bye,
Alrighty.
Terry.
Bye, Terry.